very warm good morning, good evening, good afternoon, based upon your geographies. Welcome to the another and very first session, I would say, because we have done a couple of sessions in the past by Azure Made Easy team, and today we are going to start with the very basic sessions for the non-technical persons as well. Okay, those who will be able to understand the details about the cloud computing and all. Okay, even if you're a fresher, even if you're coming from the different background, not from the IT background also, this these sessions, that is today and tomorrow, these two sessions which we are going to conduct is for you. Okay, so without wasting much of your time, let's start with the discussion and the understanding of the cloud computing. Okay, now before I start with the cloud computing discussion and then followed by the Microsoft Azure, I wanted to know that how many of you know the cloud computing, at least just raise your hand if possible, so I can understand. Okay, these people knows. Okay, four. You can see the four people, 3 to 4 people. Okay, but no worries. What about others? 6, 7. Okay, okay. So around cool. So seven people, seven learners knows Azure, right? Or we can say Microsoft Azure or cloud computing, right? Cool. So you can lower down your hands, but rest of you are very new to this whole cloud concept. So we will be understanding those things in detail. Okay. So let's start with the discussion, and trust me, it's going to be a super interesting for you because. So only the thing which I need from you is that since we are paying our 2 days time, okay, so please attend the session completely, and definitely we will be taking a break as well. Okay, we will be discussing, we will be taking a short breaks as well in this 3 hours, 3 to 5, 3.5 hours. We will be taking a break as well. So yeah, short breaks also we will be taking, and definitely let's make it worth. And before starting, just one thing, please keep all your distraction devices away from you. Do not watch Instagram reels, do not watch Facebook reels for these at least 3.5 hours. It's my humble request to you. Definitely, it's going to benefit you. Okay. I know it's a free session, but please take it very seriously. Definitely, if you understand these concepts, definitely it's going to be super helpful for you in your future career. Okay. So let's start with it, and without wasting much of your time, let's begin with the introduction. So first of all, let's have a quick trainer introduction that is from my side. I'm Mr. Rajat, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer from past now 5 years. I have delivered around 100 plus training sessions on Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing over the 2000 plus participants from the different group, and I have a largest community over to the Instagram. If you browse, like don't go now, you can watch it later also. So this is my community page over Instagram, that is Microsoft Azure Cloud. Okay, so this is about the things, and I have written certain blogs on Microsoft Azure, and I'm also an active member of the community. Okay, so this is about the short information about me. Okay, and let me just give me a minute, guys. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay. So this is about a crisp information about my introduction. So what are the certifications I have? So certifications which I am having is, you can say, these are the certifications which I have done in my career. Like I'm an Azure Administrator certified. I'm a Solution Architect expert, and also I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, as I told you. Overall years of experience, if you look, so I am having overall 9 plus years in a technical domain side, that is in the cloud side, and also 7 plus years as a corporate trainer. And also I'm a part of the Azure Made Easy group, through which you have got the notification. Okay, so that is being co-founded by our team. Okay, and I hope that is definitely going to be helpful for you. So later on we will be sharing the links how to join the community. Okay, so those things we are going to see it. Okay, so let's start with the further discussion. Now, what we will be going to understand in this whole today and tomorrow's session. Okay, we will be starting with the cloud computing fundamental, then we will be proceeding with the cloud services, Azure fundamentals, security, compliance, and governance. Okay, so now it looks like very technical side, or maybe some of you are looking understanding this terminology for the very first time. Okay, but trust me, after the tomorrow's session, you will be having a good understanding on the cloud computing, as well as you will be able to start as a fresh with Microsoft Azure Cloud. Okay, so those things are there. Let's start with the further discussion what we are having. Okay, now let's start with the first topic or first unit, I would say. So unit one, we will be focusing. So basically, guys, what we are going to learn, let me tell you. So our units have been divided in our whole this today's and tomorrow session is been divided into two parts. That is unit 1 and unit 2, and followed by the unit 3 as well, I would say. Okay, so we will be understanding all these units in detail in these 2 days. Okay, what are the unit 1, what unit 2, unit 3? It is going to be related to your Microsoft Azure cloud as well as your cloud computing. Okay, so we'll be, this is your unit 1. Okay, we'll be starting with the cloud computing and the other parts, and then slowly we are going to proceed with the unit 2 and unit 3. Okay, so let's understand what we are having in the unit 1 first. Okay, so in this particular unit, we will be understanding as, and we will be starting as a fresh in the cloud computing market or the technology, what is there in the cloud. Then we will be proceeding with what is shared responsibility model, cloud model, what is CapEx and OpEx, what are the benefits of the cloud, why the people are moving towards the cloud, and what is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Okay, it's a very small module, and we will be going to make it worth uh, when we are going to understand these terminologies in detail. Okay, so let's proceed with the further discussion and understand it. What are the concepts we are going to cover? Okay, so let's start with a very first terminology in this particular module, that is your cloud computing. Okay, now what is cloud computing, guys? Before I start with it, what is cloud computing? This kind of questions comes to your mind very often, right? But screen is visible, guys, right? My screen is visible. Can you just confirm me, everyone? So for those who are not able to see the screen, please rejoin it. There might be some network glitch from your side. Okay. So yeah. Okay, so let's start with it. So first topic which we are going to understand about the cloud computing and the benefits and the cloud service type. Okay, so let's start with the discussion what we are having. So first of all, we are going to see about the cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Okay, now cloud computing is the delivery of the services over to the cloud. Okay, what kind of services we are having? Okay, on demand availability of computing resources. Okay, so yes, so we are having the demand of the resources available over to the internet. Okay, now let's understand what we are going to see. First of all, one by one we'll proceed. So guys, please understand, there is terminology called as on-premise and cloud. Before the cloud has came into picture, the everyone is managing their own offices, own infrastructure. Like offices means the servers, computers, laptops, right, desktops, they are managing by their own. So everyone is managing their own, that is called as on premise, or which is managed by the client. Okay, so which is managed by the client. If client is managing something, that is called as on prem. Okay, if client is managing something, that is called as on prem. But if you are asking the particular vendor to manage, let's suppose you need a server, you need a database, you need a storage, whatever the services you need, there is someone to listen you, there is someone to provide you the services, and that's where we are having some called as cloud solutions provider. Let's suppose today you go to the market. Okay, you purchase something. Let's suppose you purchase ACs, right? You purchase televisions, right? Those things have been provided by some vendor, you are not generating it. right? Or you are taking it on a rent from someone. Okay, let's suppose you are taking your AC, or you can take your laptops, right? Those things, if you're taking it on a rent, that is being provided by someone. Okay, so that is where the cloud and on-prem is there. And the one major difference which you can understand is there. Here you need to purchase the infrastructure. Here you are need to purchase the servers, laptop, everything. But in the cloud, you are renting out the resources. That is a very basic difference between the cloud and the on-prem. Even if you forget everything, just for no worries. But at least if you know this difference, it is on purchasing the whole things. But here it is renting out the resources. Are you getting my point? So here, see, that is what it is written. Physical server kept in your company building, managed by their own IT staff. But here, provided through the internet, run by outside the companies like AWS, Microsoft, or Google Cloud. Now you can understand why there is a hype in the market, why everyone is running behind the cloud market or the Microsoft Azure, because everyone wants to rent out the resources for their use. They do not need to purchase the heavy infrastructure to get their job done. Are you getting my point? So that is what where the on-prem and the cloud difference is there. Is it clear to everyone? Am I clear? Okay. So that is a basic difference between the renting and purchasing. So whenever you get this word on-premise, it means client managing. It means managed by the client. Okay. So that is called as on-premise versus cloud. Okay. We have certain difference. You will get a full control over to the hardware and data security, but here you will get the flexible control over to the resources. Are you getting my point? So that is what the on-prem. So on-prem means everything has been managed by you. But here, everything has been managed. Some parts of the managed by the vendor, and some restrictions or the access has been given to you as well. Okay, you are also managing. That is the difference between on-prem and the cloud. Okay, so that is one thing which we are having. Is it clear, guys? Everyone? Anyone having any doubt? Okay, and one more thing, you do not need to purchase anything in the clouds, right? You are there to rent out the resources. Now, if this is clear, now let's understand more about the cloud computing. Then what is cloud computing if you want to understand in detail? So cloud computing delivers the computing services via internet, okay? And it enables the innovation and the flexible resources and cost efficiency. Okay, so here you can understand about that cloud. See, it is of two words, cloud plus computing. Cloud means it is being managed by some other place. Means you want to access your machine or the server, it is hosted in some other place or some other network. Are you getting my point? Right? So here you can understand about the compute. So what are the services available in there in the cloud computing? It is about that compute, networking. So these are the services available to you through cloud computing. Okay, so that thing is available in the cloud computing. So what is the cloud computing? If you read this definition, it's pretty clear. It is the services you are delivering over to the internet, enabling innovation. So here you can get the compute, you can get the CPU, you can get the your application, you can get your application hosted in the cloud, or you if you need a virtual machine, if you need server, if you need storage, that is everything they can be provided. But these things can be provided to you on rental basis. You can rent out the things from the cloud provider. Okay, so that is the meaning of cloud computing. I will get your questions answered, everything we will be covering. But please, whenever I am teaching it, please focus it on the screen. Okay, because what will happen if I keep on looking on the chat, others will get confused, right? So we'll be taking your questions after some time for sure. Okay, so that is what everyone understood. What is cloud computing now? Quick, yes or no? Okay, so if you need compute, if you need networking, storage, so everything will be available over to the internet. But and second word is renting out the things. Okay, so that is called as cloud computing. Now cloud computing is having a faster innovation and having the flexible resources so that you can scale up and scale down. Means let's suppose you need a more storage, you need a more compute. It is absolutely available in the market, absolutely flexible. You do not need, let's suppose today you have purchased i3 laptop or i5 laptop, and that too with the 40,000 you have invested for the i3 machine. Okay, for the i3 processor or i4, i5, whatever it is, you have invested huge amount of money. But if you need more RAM, what you will do? You will go again to the market? Yes or no? You will go again to your local vendor. But if your server, if your machine is hosted in the cloud, it is just a minute of seconds. It's just a minute of like work which you can do it. It's just a matter of work or for the particular seconds or the minutes you will be able to get your resources on the infrastructure up and running. Okay, so that is why understand why the people are moving towards the cloud, right? So it can be easily understood and it can be having a great economies of scale. So that's why it is having a faster innovation, flexible resources. Now you can relate it, right? Why the people are moving to the cloud, why the big companies are moving to the cloud, why the cloud engineer is required in the market. This is the reason why they are required, right? So that is what it is called as cloud computing. Now, but we have some concepts in the cloud. Now, what is that? We have some concepts in the cloud market, and that is based upon the shared responsibility model. Now, what is it? The shared responsibility model there. Okay. Now, what is shared responsibility model? Please, guys, focus here. So, shared responsibility model will tell you that what kind of duties is shared between you and your cloud provider. There are two things, right? There will be a cloud provider and there will be a customer. Okay, so we have the cloud provider, we have the customer. So you can see this word on-prem, right? Everything has been managed by you. See, everything has been managed by you. This is from bottom to top, physical data center, network, host, OS, everything. We will discuss about it. Don't worry about this thing. But I'm just showing you the visibility, what it is actually all about. So here you have the on-prem, which from bottom to top, everything which has been managed by the client. But if these are the three portion of the cloud, okay, they will be providing IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. What is this IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS? We will discuss it. Okay, we will definitely discuss it. But just try to understand the difference when the cloud is introduced in the market. What is the change actually? So if you go for the infrastructure resources, see this light box, blue box color is being managed by Microsoft. Dark one is being managed by the customer. See, like these things has been managed by the vendor. Who is Microsoft here? Vendor or provider who is providing you the services. Here also they are providing you the services. See, we have the shared control over the resources, but earlier you are managing everything, right? You are managing everything. So that is what it is there in the cloud. Okay. So when we move to the cloud, our load, our overhead reduced, right? Due to some extents. So that is called a shared responsibility model. We will come back again to this slide when we will discuss about the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS, but this is how it looks like. So, okay, so here you can see that responsibilities in the lower part resides to the cloud provider. But if you go on the topper side, it will retain by the customer, right? So those things are there. Now it is okay if you don't understand it, it's completely fine. But just understand how we are moving over to our responsibilities. Okay, so that is called as shared responsibilities. Okay, is it clear, guys? Okay. Now let's understand, we will come back again on this part as well. But now we need to understand something very important which without which cloud computing is impossible. Without which cloud computing is impossible. And what are there? These are the cloud models actually. Okay. Now, what is cloud model actually? Okay. Now, guys, one thing, please make it very clear. This word comes from onward, if you listen this word, cloud models, it is telling you that how your data is actually deployed. Whenever you will listen or heard this word or see saw this word, right, cloud model, it will tell you that how your data is actually deployed. Okay, means how your data or your application is actually deployed in the cloud. That will be determined by the cloud models. Understood? So how our data is actually deployed, that will be determined by the cloud models. Okay, and we have three type of cloud model: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. We will discuss about these things in our upcoming slides. But what is it is there, whenever cloud models comes to your mind, it will be something how your data is actually deployed in the cloud. Okay, so that is what it is called as cloud models. Okay, now first cloud model is the public cloud. Public cloud means a place where your data is also present, where my data is also present. Okay, so it is owned by the cloud service or hosting provider. Okay, this is A, this is B. They are referring to the same place for their data, but A cannot access the B data or B cannot access A data. That is for sure. Okay, so that is 100%. Okay, so this is one thing, and it provides resources and services to multiple organization and users. Okay, so we have the public cloud. Whenever first cloud is public cloud, where they are providing a common place, where they are providing a common place so that you can host your data, so that you can host your data. Okay, so one common example or one common example of public cloud is Microsoft Azure portal. Okay, Microsoft Azure portal. So we have the Microsoft Azure portal where you can create also, you can also create your account, and where I can create my account as well. Okay, so that is called as public cloud. Understood, guys? Is it clear? Yes or no? Okay, it is accessed via secure network over to the internet. Okay, so we will be understanding about where the place given by the provider. Now, second thing, it is having a great scalability. You can scale up or scale down the data, or you can scale up or scale down. Okay, it is having a global reach, means sitting from India, you can deploy your data in Canada, Central US. All these things can be available to you. That's why it is called as global reach. Okay, and what is this pay as you go? Whatever you use, you need to pay in the cloud. Let's suppose you have utilized the server for 2 hours. You need to pay only for the 2 hours, apart from your storage or compute cost. That is separate. But in the cloud, I am repeating it once again. In the cloud, we are following mainly on our pay as you go model. Pay as you go model means whatever you use, you need to pay. That's it. That is what, right? That is called as, and these things are possible in the public cloud. Is it clear? Okay. But now, what is private cloud then? If public cloud is public cloud, then what is private cloud? Private cloud is giving organizations ability to host their data or their own cloud infrastructure. And that is ensuring complete resources and security. Let's suppose you went to the vendor and you say that I don't want to lose my data or the place, right? I don't want to get my data compromised. It is highly critical. So in that case, cloud vendor will say that, okay, sir, go with the private cloud. In that, you will be getting the complete ownership of that place and no one else will be a part of that place. But this is costly. This is costly as compared to public cloud. Are you getting my point? So this is on higher investment side. It is having dedicated resources. So these things are comes under the private cloud. Okay, we are having these things comes under the private cloud. Then what is hybrid cloud? If you want some cloud or the particular model where you need a particular public cloud as well as private cloud. Okay, can you give me one example of hybrid cloud, guys, where I can use public cloud as well as private cloud? Any one example from the audience? Yes, no? Any guesses? Okay, I will tell you one scenario, then you can understand hybrid cloud. Let's suppose there is an ABC bank. Please understand. There is an ABC bank, ABC name bank. Now, ABC bank needs one area where they can have the promotional messages for FDs, RDs, and mutual funds, right? All these things they can place it in one place. But at the same time, they need one place also where they want to store the credentials or username or password. That's what we called it as, right? Or the security information of the client. So they can store it in the particular place. Are you getting my point? There is a bank. We have a lot of banks in various part of the country as well as outside the country as well. But I'm taking it one example of this simple bank, that is ABC Bank, where you are hosting, where you want to keep your, just like a promotional messages, you are keeping it for the FDs, right? You want you want a place to host those messages or data. So in that case, you can leverage the functionality of public cloud. On the other side, you can take up the private cloud. You can take up the private cloud where you can store the security information of the client or the users or the customer. Let's suppose their internet banking username and password, right? Or their PIN. Are you getting my point? All these things can be managed in the private cloud. That's why the companies are building a hybrid cloud that is best works for both the worlds. Okay, it is combining public and private cloud resources, offering best of both the worlds. It is having the data control. Okay, if you have the sensitive data, that is also you are having the as sensitive data control. Okay, so that is what it is called as particular hybrid cloud. Okay, so Azure Arc is separate thing, Altaf. Okay, so that we will discuss it. That is a part of your on-prem. Okay, Azure Arc servers and machine, that is a part of your on-prem. Okay, that you can consider in kind of a hybrid cloud, but that we need to also check what parameters we need to configure it. Okay, so those things are there in the hybrid cloud part, and these are the cloud models. Okay, so yes, this is an example of your hybrid cloud which I told you. Okay, so is it clear, everyone? Now, if you want to understand about the cloud comparison, cloud model comparison, so you do not have any upfront cost to grow. Okay, but in the private cloud, you need to buy the hardware to start and maintain. Okay, and in the hybrid cloud, it offers more flexibility. It offers more flexibility. So you can see it's available in the screen as well. Okay, you can see no upfront cost, but here you need to buy. Here you need to understand the particular hardware. Here it can be quickly added or removed, but here you are having a full control over your security. Means more granular control if you need, go for the private cloud. Okay, and here you choose where your application runs. Okay, but if you are coming, if you are a very coming from a very freshers background or very non-technical or very, you I would say a people who is just starting in the cloud, basic difference should be understood from these terminologies point of view. Okay, and this comparison will ask in your easy 900 exam. So we are preparing for our exam as well. Okay, so please understand, if you want to take a snap of this thing, you can definitely take it. Okay, but please be aware of this watermark of our organization. Okay, otherwise I will be sharing you this kind of some data separately, those who have joined. Okay, so those things we will be discussing in the cloud model comparison. Okay, so those things we have understood. and discussed. I hope it is clear, guys. Everyone is clear with the cloud model comparison. Anyone having any doubt? Is it clear? Okay. So we will be understanding the details of this in the capex versus opex. Okay. So we will be understanding in detail about what we are going to see in this particular operational infrastructure. Okay, now there is one terminology comes from the capex versus opex. Now what is capex versus opex? Capex stands for capital expenditure. Okay, capital expenditure, whereas OPEX stands for operational expenditure. Now, please focus over here. We will be taking up your questions now again later. Okay. Now, we will be discussing about the CAPEX and OPEX. What is this CAPEX and OPEX? CAPEX stands for capital expenditure. Now, when it comes to the billing in the cloud market, the first thing is your capital expenditure. Let's suppose this you are again understanding in the on-prem also. You are purchasing a huge physical infrastructure. You are paying in advance for huge amount of money, right? So these things will be understanding about the capital expenditure. These assets depreciate over the time and gradually reducing for accounting and tax purposes. So basically what is there? In if you consider about your on-prem environment, there you will be understanding something which is there where you are purchasing the infrastructure, your servers, your database ahead, right? That is called as capital expenditure. But if you are purchasing those details based upon your usage, so that is called as operational expenditure. Let's suppose you are paying a subscription fees monthly, right? You are paying a salaries to the particular employees, right? Those things comes under the operational expenditure. Capital expenditure is something which you are purchasing, before you are starting your office. Just like your on-prem, you're purchasing furniture, you're purchasing servers, server room, ACs, multiple things. So that is a capital expenditure. It requires significant advanced planning and financial forecasting, but this is basically on what exactly you are using. That is called as operational expenditure. No upfront cost, offer flexibility to scale up or scale down based upon your business needs. So this difference is very important for your exam as well as for your interviews is concerned. So even if you are preparing for some interviews, definitely this difference will hit in the question. Okay, if they wanted to test your knowledge on the capex versus opex. The short form is capex, full form is capital expenditure, opex, and operational expenditure. Okay, so that is called as capex versus opex. But one more model which we come to know and which is there in the cloud is their consumption based model, and that is what your pay as you go work like that. Pay as you go means a consumption, whatever you are using you need to pay for that only. Okay, if you want to use a particular services, let's suppose you use a particular machine for 2 hours, okay, or you need a particular kind of 20 terabyte of storage you have used in the cloud, you need to pay based upon your consumption, what exactly you have consumed, right? That is called as consumption based model. Better cost prediction, transparent pricing, and pay for what you use. Okay, so that is what the pricing, how the cloud industries is getting priced or charged. That thing can be done or understood with the help of capex versus opex as well as your consumption based model. Okay, so that is called as consumption based model. Okay, I hope it is clear. Capex versus OPEX is clear to everyone, right? So those things, if we have the majority of yes, if it is clear, then we can proceed ahead. Even if you want to understand or even if you want to repeat something, then we can take it like a after the session. Okay, so we have the agenda, so we will need to understand our agenda, and if you have any doubts or I need to re-explain, then let me know. Okay, so that is what about the pricing model of the cloud market. Okay, capex versus opex. and also your consumption based model.